Let's start with Bernie Madoff. Madoff created the largest Ponzi scam in history, resulting in losses of over $64 billion. In 2008, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison after admitting it to his two kids, who denounced him to authorities. He was formerly a recognized Wall Street figure who embraced computing breakthroughs in trading. However, he initially attracted friends and acquaintances from Manhattan and Long Island to participate in his fund, followed by significant institutional investors, universities, and major charities. He took money from new investors to pay returns to existing ones, going undiscovered for decades. He guaranteed consistent returns rather than large rewards, and it is what he appeared to deliver during a recession in the early 1990s, the dot-com crash in the late 1990s, and the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. However, the global financial crisis of 2008 proved to be his ruin. Institutional investors withdrew hundreds of millions of dollars from his fund, and he didn't have enough new investors to cover them. He died in a jail hospital in 2021 at the age of 82 due to kidney ailment. He was denied an early release after being given 18 months to live. At the time, he had served 11 years of his sentence. While Elizabeth Holmes was not punished for nearly as long as Madoff, the failure of her blood testing firm Theranos is equally well known. Holmes created Theranos in 2003 after leaving out of Stanford University. She stated that the company has created equipment that could run a variety of blood tests using only a finger prick. She agreed to a cooperation with Walgreens to deliver the technology to their stores. Theranos was once valued at $9 billion, making Holmes, who owns 50% of the company, one of Silicon Valley's few female billionaires. She appeared on the covers of Fortune, Forbes, and Inc. She attracted investors such as media magnate Rupert Murdoch and Oracle executive chairman and founder Larry Ellison, as well as experienced board members such as former U.S. Secretaries of State Henry Kissinger and George Shultz. However, an examination by the Wall Street Journal revealed that the device known as the Edison never worked as described. In November 2022, she was convicted on 4 charges of cheating investors and sentenced to 11 years and 3 months in jail. However, her sentence has been secretly lowered by around 2 years due to good behavior, a fate that the following fraudster was not allowed to experience. Alan Stanford was sentenced to 110 years in jail in 2012 after running a $7 billion Ponzi fraud through his financial firm, Stanford Financial Group. Once a billionaire who managed $50 billion in customer funds, he sold fraudulent certificates of deposit from his offshore bank to 50,000 investors, which allowed consumers to deposit funds for a set period of time at a higher interest rate than standard savings accounts. Many of them were retirees looking for stable investments. He used the earnings to fund a lavish lifestyle in Antigua, whose economy suffered as a result of his prosecution, as he had become the country's greatest employment. As of 2019, his victims had not recovered nearly as much of their money as in the Madoff case. Before we move to the last one, just a quick side note. If you need a recap of the FTX case and want to hear how many years Sam Bankman got for it, check out my last video. Let's move on to our last fraudster of today. Jeffrey Skilling was the CEO of Enron Corporation, once one of the world's largest energy firms. When it collapsed in 2001, it became one of the most notorious incidents of corporate fraud ever. Enron's downfall happened when it was discovered that the corporation had concealed significant debts and losses using accounting practices that were not reflected on its balance sheets. This increased Enron's perceived financial soundness, and thus its stock price. Skilling played a role in promoting these accounting methods and became a symbol of Enron's corporate greed. Following the findings, the stock price fell, costing billions of dollars in losses for investors, and the business declared bankruptcy in December 2001. Thousands of workers lost their jobs. It resulted in the passing of a major federal law in 2002 that attempted to improve company governance and financial reporting standards. Skilling was convicted in 2006 on 19 criminal counts, including fraud, conspiracy, and insider trading. Though several other executives were convicted, he received the most severe sentence, 24 years in prison. However, after displaying good behavior, he spent only 12 months behind bars. After being released, he proceeded to work for Veld Applied Analytics, an energy firm that develops systems to monitor oil and gas assets. With these cases in mind, I think it's fair to say that SBF's sentence is pretty appropriate. On the other hand, I am sure he will not even spend close to 25 years in prison, as it is often the case in these scenarios. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like these videos, I am happy for every like and subscriber. Cheers.